Okay, fair enough. So you said that total you have 7.5 years of IT experience,
Yeah,
right? And how long you have been working on Power BI?
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah,
And you're comfortable with SQL, you said, right?
yeah, yeah.
And how many years of experience you have with SQL?
SQL 2.5.
2.5. Okay. All right. So you are working on both Power BI and Tableau parallelly, or is it like?
In my project, the
Mhm.
Tableau I am using, but only there is some data source which are already connected with that Tableau. So my work there are only any requirements data. So we fetch from the Tableau and uh, like data we require, then fetching there from data and then saving into the SharePoint and connect.
So,
That SharePoint is
okay.
connect with Power BI.
Okay, so let me ask you, let's say you are going to connect with a client and he's not sure about which technology to use, like either Tableau or
No,
Power BI. So
no, no.
what would you
Uh,
recommend to him?
they ask no. They are asking for to the Power BI because of work. It was I think in my project. No, this Tableau is earlier it was using, but nowadays the Power BI client is also using their tools.
No, I
But
mean,
mhm,
what I'm trying to ask is, let's say you have started with a new project with a new client, and he want to build up the reporting solutions, but he's
mhm.
not quite sure which application or which software to go through, like with Tableau or with Power BI. So what would you recommend and why?
Yeah, definitely I will recommend with the Power BI because it is very user friendly and every steps is very easy to use this and. Mm, I'll talk about the charge basis. So it is also very comfortable for the company and all.
Mhm.
And uh, they are very, I think we can connect data very easily there and we can do transformation of their Power Query editors. Can very easily we can do the data modeling.
Okay.
So,
So when
and
it comes to Power
mm,
BI, in Power BI, which part do you think you are good at? Like data modeling, creating visuals, DAX, or UX design? Like, what do you feel you are good at?
yeah, because I have done end-to-end work from the extracting data transformation to modeling,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I think every I have everywhere I'm good in every part of the Power BI.
Okay, great. Sounds good. So, can you please explain the difference between Power BI Pro and Premium?
Yeah, Power BI Pro, we have the data set size limit there, only 1 GB, and
Mhm.
Pro version we have 100 GB data size limit, and also the talk about storage. So we have 10 GB storage in the Pro version and 100 TB storage in the Premium version. And refreshing data we have only 8 times in Pro and Premium version. We have like 48 times in a day. And for the analysis purpose, we have Azure data lake storage and data storage. For that, also we are using the premium and other facility
Mhm.
like paginated report. We need the premium version and talk about the charge. So there's some different $10 per kb user in the pro version because we have two schemes. We have in the premium version.
Mhm.
Uh, One is total premium and other is per user premium
Okay,
20
fair
rupees.
enough.
Yes, that is.
And what is the difference between measures and calculated columns?
Yeah, measure when we create the measure, so it does not include in our data size in limit, and it also does not show in the data modeling. And measure is used for it works on the filter context, and
Mhm.
it does not increase our data size limit, and mostly measure can use also with the other measures. But talk about
Mhm.
the calculate columns. So whenever we use the calculate columns, so we create new columns in our data set, and there is works on the raw arrow context, and the calculate column also used for the mostly the text persons when we have required some other columns. We have required like name concatenate, and we have like a date function, so we have to extract the month year. That time also we use the calculator. Measure does not work there, and also the filter. For the filter slicer,
Mhm.
we have to use mm, mm, calculate column. Also, we when we are connecting to data modeling, when connecting the relationship between tables, that
Mhm.
time also it helps to connect with tables.
So can we create any slicer with measures?
No, calculate column was
Okay. Have you used date table anywhere in your models?
date table. Yeah, we use like calendar and calendar auto. We use
Yeah,
for
I
that purpose.
mean, any table, a date table that you might have created manually or anyway. Have you utilized any date table as of now?
Yeah, yeah, guys.
Okay. So what difference does it make? So let's say there are multiple dates or date tables in the model, and you go ahead and made one date table, marked it as a date table. So what difference will it make in the model?
Uh, difference.
So, I mean,
Mm,
the benefit of having one table as a date table, I mean, the table would be anywhere, anywhere, right?
mm.
But there's an option to mark one table as a date table. So, what difference does it make if we marked it as a date table?
Okay, so date table when we connect, so it the Power BI
Mhm.
consider as a table for that. So we have in the date table hierarchy based things we have in that month
Mhm.
year and that, and also you are creating one table for the dates. That date also the unique, mm, because in the other tables might have the duplicate dates there.
Okay, no
So we
issues, no problem. So, have you worked mostly with the import mode, or you have also explored the direct query mode?
Yeah, both I have worked on both important
Okay,
and
great. So, have you came around any limitations while working with a direct query?
yeah, direct query. We know that there is limitation. You can say that like time intelligence functions we can't use the properly there, and mm, but also very talk about the performance issue. So direct query mode is slow because we are not killing any visual. Then you go to the direct source data, and then again they are searching that. So it will take time, and if don't have the good connectivity good, so you might have the issue with that.
Mhm.
But also the one things is that we can't connect with the other like source with the when we are connecting the direct query. While so if we have the import mode, so we can connect multiple data source in one time. That also limitation.
Okay. Okay, great. So when you are setting up a data model in the Power BI, what the best practices or key things that you keep in mind while setting up the model?
Setting the model so because as we know that one to many listens is better for the modeling,
Mhm.
and sometimes we don't have like both keys when we can connect the tables. We have to face the issue with that when we have the tables, but sometimes we don't have like any connectivity columns for both. So For that, we use some index column for that, and use star schema and remove the duplicate records from the other tables and create. And when we have the like many to many relationship, so we can create new uh, tables for that to both have unique data. Then we create a relation between that. These things
Okay.
we do.
Okay. So, talking about creating visuals, um, have you worked, I mean, came a situation where you have to create some swipe effect? So, for example, using bookmarks and selection, and on the same page, you added a button where you just clicked on, it will show a different visual. And if once that another visual will appear, it will show a different button so that you can go back and swipe between. Have you created such visual as of now?
Yeah, because sometimes there is requirement for there in the same
Mhm.
visual, like we have graphs and tables in the same have. So yeah, we use the bookmarks, and the we have selection panel for that. So we can create like button for that. So we can click in this, so that times the other visual will be appear, and then clicking on that, the other visual will be appear. So we will use like bookmark and selection pen for that. Selection pen we have hide and unhide, and then we
Mhm.
click the bookmarks. And this, so yeah, we have used this for that, and then we have action, so we can select the bookmarks and any for
Okay,
do anything
great.
times.
Now let's think of a table. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
Let's say you have a sales table. Just take a generic one. And
mm-hmm,
in that sales table, you have multiple dates. For example, you have order date, you have ship date, you have deliver date,
mm-hmm,
and let's say you have got a invoice date. Now there are four dates in a single table. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Now you are creating some visuals on a single page. Now
mm-hmm.
let's assume there are five visuals that you have created on a single page,
Okay,
and each visual is based on the different date column. Okay.
okay,
Now on the top you want to provide a date slicer, and obviously because it's a report, you will just give only one date slicer, right? You won't give five date slicer for each visual.
yeah.
So how would you set up this to provide a single date slicer that will filter data for all other visuals which are based on different dates?
Mm,
Yeah, I hope you have understood the scenario. I can explain it again if you want.
like yeah, you are talking about multiple dates and their like sales and all, and multiple
Uh-huh.
individuals. And there definitely we have the one slicer, and the one
Mhm.
slicer when click any date, so it affect all the visuals. So scenario is that
No, no. So let's think. Let's say there was a sales done on let's say today on
mm,
21st December. So its
mm,
sales date would be 21st, right?
mm,
But its delivery date might be 25th December, correct? And
yeah,
also let's suppose it was delivered on 25th, then the payment was received on, let's say, 28th December, right?
yeah.
So if someone is filtering that date table on 21st only, so it will show the invoice and delivery things which were based on 21st only, correct? So that
Mm-hmm,
won't show the correct data. What I want
mm,
is that whenever someone change something in a particular date slicer, let's say for the 21st, I
mm,
should see the delivery which happened on 21st as well, sales done on the 21st. So all
yeah.
that date slicer should change accordingly. It should not be based on one filter.
Oh yeah. So, so, so can use by
Have
one
you
value as your global
uh,
value.
Have you worked with sync slicers sometimes?
Yeah, sync slicer, synchronize, we have used like sync slicer. So sync slicer is that no where we can like multiple we have reports in our report, so we can work on single slicer can handle all the reports or page all the page reports when we have select only one slicer, so they work on the all the pages. So we have option there,
Hmm.
we can like unselect and select that. So yeah, that is things we have used in
Hmm.
the different for
And
the different page. When one click page, so every page will work on that slicer.
so can that happen on the same page as well?
uh, in my
For
project I have.
example, let's say I have created two date slicers on a single page. I mean, it's just a hypothetical example, but
Mhm.
let's say I have created two date slicers on a single page and I want to sync them. Will that be possible or not?
uh, yeah, it's possible because you know that we have all the charts showing in our page, so they are showing there.
Mhm.
So or if we click all the charts, so they will work accordingly the slicers, syncs
Okay.
slicer.
So have you used this edit interaction feature anywhere?
Yeah, edit interaction we have used in my project, like because we know we want some data must not reflect with the slicer where we have the
Mhm.
total sales, then the cards visual and all many visuals we don't need. So yeah, edit interaction we select that, so there will not any interaction happens with others visual, any we click on any visual, so does not affect that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
very important.
great, great. So how comfortable you are with writing DAX?
Yeah, right. DAX is very important in our project because most of time
Mhm.
we have to do some calculation and all. So
Mhm.
we need
Okay.
DAX function.
So let's assume, let's again take a sales table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are displaying some sales details in a date, okay, sorry, in a table, in a table visual actually. Okay.
Okay.
Now there is a date slicer given on the top. Okay. Now, once user is changing that date and there is a scenario that in a particular date range, there was no sales.
Okay.
Okay. Now the table will be blank,
Mm-hmm.
right? So can you show some message over there or something like that will be displayed only when there is nothing to visual in the table? Can you create something using DAX or any other workaround you can do? So what I'm asking is you are showing a sales table in a like a
Mm-hmm. Got
tabular
it.
format, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever there is no data you just need to display a message that okay, in the selected date range there were no sales.
Yeah, so we can use anywhere using the calculate and the DAX and its filters and all. Then we can use other functions, if functions.
Uh-huh.
If we can use if the result is blank, then
Mhm.
we can show any message. Otherwise, we select the same calculation and filters. Uh, so they will show if the blank are there, so they will show any message. Otherwise, they will produce same data with the if
So I
function
mean,
will work.
where you would add that DAX? I mean, in the table or how would you make it
Either
visible?
we will use the DAX function when we or definitely we might have worked. We are using the any DAX function for the any calculation like some
Mhm.
sales and filter updates. So
Mhm.
before that, we can on the DAX functions we can use the if functions. Suppose we
Mhm.
have the calculation calculate and sum of sales and
Mhm.
comma and filter we can do the dates.
Mhm.
So before that, we can use if function if calculate sum of sales and dates. comma, if is equal to blank,
Hmm.
then we can show the message. Otherwise, we copy that, we calculate sum of sales, then we can paste there. So they will reflect, the blank is that message, otherwise they will show same data. So we are using calculus
Okay.
function for that.
Yeah, I've got your logic. What I want to know now is how would you show it on the page? For example,
Mhm.
you have created that measure. So where you will use it? I mean, in the table, or how would you make that display?
Uh, no, I whatever I am
Hmm.
telling, that is, it is
Hmm.
totally it reflect in your row.
Row.
In
Okay.
yeah, that will reflect on the row where is number is there, where the blank
Uh-huh.
is there, so their message will show there
I see. I see.
instead of
Okay.
it.
Great. All right. So let me ask you another DAX. So let's assume again there is a sales table. Okay. Now this time in the sales table there is a sales, and there is some products, and there are some agents name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's say there is a product XYZ. Okay.
Mhm.
And there is an agent A. Okay. So
Okay.
this
Okay.
there are sales given month wise. So Jan, Feb, March. Okay. The
Mhm.
sales are given in the monthly format. So all the sales in the month Jan, let's say, and there is a product XYZ, and there is an agent who sold this in the month of Jan, and let's say his name is A. So
Okay.
please write a DAX. You can utilize this Teams chat window.
Mhm.
Just write a DAX where you need to provide the sum of sales by agent A of product XYZ in the month of Jan. So there are three conditions. Month is
Mhm.
Jan, agent name is A, and product is XYZ.
Okay. You can use two filters for that.
Okay, great. Sorry, I was on mute. So
Okay.
great. So have you created any view in the SQL?
Yeah, we created.
Let's please write like a simple syntax just to create a view. So you can choose any name or anything. Just write a single select statement. Let's say select a star from sales. Okay.
Mhm.
The table name is sales. So just create a view that will select a star from sales.
Sales table name is sales.
Sales, yeah. Okay. Have you let's say you have a view or any stored procedure with parameters. Okay.
Mhm.
So will you be able to use that in Power BI?
Yeah, parameters. Yeah, we can use. We have in the Power Query editor. Uh,
Mhm.
so there is a parameter, so we can
Mhm.
set their parameters, and then give their parameters name. We have connected with the SQL database, and then SQL database, and then we can give the like table name and all. So yeah, parameter, we set new parameters in that Power Query editor,
Mhm.
and we can yeah, we can use with the help of parameters in Power Query editor,
Okay.
so we can utilize this.
So all right. Can you explain the difference between where and having?
Yeah, where is mostly used. We can't use with the aggregate functions like with the condition where you have to give and talk about uh, having mostly used the aggregate concern, and also it works with the group by, and
Mhm.
they group they give the like condition with the group, and some, some when we have the sum of sales, having sum of sales more than that, so we can use the having. We can't use the where condition for that. We can use the where condition when you have to give the condition where the country is India country, that purpose only we use. But we are required to any aggregate functions. So if the sales has been done more than
Mhm.
$200, so that time we are using like having.
So, okay, let's write a simple SQL query
Hmm.
that will return. Let's again take the sales table just to keep it
Hmm.
simple.
Hmm.
So your query should return sum of sales by each month for so let's say for each month by each agent. So there are a couple of agents. Now
Hmm.
the in the sales table we have sales given by each month,
Okay.
and in each month we have multiple agents.
Hmm.
Now I only want the return where the sales done by agent is more than 1,000.
More than 1,000.
1,000, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, moving towards Tableau. So you said you are like slightly using Tableau in the project, not the base is Power BI, but slightly you are using Tableau as well.
Yeah.
So have you like used joins and blendings something in Tableau or not?
Join splitting. No, we don't use it. Can't say no.
Okay, okay. Have you created any dual access in Tableau? Dual access chart?
Dual access chart, totally not a big things, but yeah,
Mm,
as I said that only whatever I am showing my
mm,
visualization and all on or Power BI. Okay,
mm,
when we require any data which are already connected with the power, like Tableau with the other like warehousing. That time we
mhm.
use some filter and all,
Mhm.
and then extract data from.
Okay. No issues. So, I mean, for this job, mostly we would need a guy with the Power BI knowledge, but Tableau is good to have. So I'm just trying to understand if it is required, how comfortable you are working with Tableau. I mean, will you be able to adopt or will there be any challenge?
No, no, I don't think so. I will face any
Mm,
challenge because Tableau is not a big
mhm.
deal. Yeah, we are using when we start to use, definitely we'll able to know about that. When we are
Okay.
searching all the data from the Tableau and all this doing, only we have to create visual and all. So
Mhm.
no, that not a big deal.
Okay. All right. So in your current project, is it like you are working as a in the IC role or is it like a team role where you are kind of distributing your Power BI roles or Power BI things between team members? How is it like in the current project?
Yeah, in my current project, it is totally US based, and
Mm,
I'm dealing with the US manager that is like Paul. They are
mm,
belongs to US, and they give me all the tasks and all. There is no in my mm, current my manager is region like Indian manager that is
mm,
only help me only the leave and all, but otherwise all the
mm,
work related issue. we directly connect with the their US manager, and they have give me tasks and all the things related sales, like entitlement reports and sales leads, and their work on the BSI, and they give me the task of Power BI, all the things. So we
Mm.
create reports and all. So
So, like, you do daily sync up like in agile methodology, or is it like whenever required?
yeah, Agile is not there because I'm the only one on Power BI developing role, only work on. Uh,
Okay.
so they give me only the scenario and all tasks. So I fulfill there. These are some tasks are weekly basis, like the revenue, and we create the sales list to the team. So that is weekly basis.
Mhm.
Otherwise, daily basis we have to keep some ad hoc work and keep changing any requirement in the Power BI. We do this.
Okay. All right. So you, in order to track the task, you use Jira tools, or is there something like, is it happening only on the emails?
Yeah, it's not a Jira tools. It's happening on the emails and
Emails.
yeah, emails and direct call on basis on calls on daily basis.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So in your current project again, so that reporting that you are developing, is it almost done and you are just doing the maintenance task, or is it in between of development?
Uh, it's in the developing because in the project recently project when the project was totally new, uh, and I have created report and dashboard because the project was that earlier, but it was for the another country. But first time they have started in their project in the US.
Mhm.
Uh, the same project was happening with the other countries, Brazil, US, Mexico, sorry, UK, Mexico. But first time they have started in the US. So they hired me to new as a new person, and they asked me to same thing which is happening in the UK and other country. They asked me to create me that report and dashboard for the same.
Mhm.
And so for the so I have created from the end-to-end work from the started. I have first I have to understand what is the requirement from the other UK base. So we have done the same here. We create around five uh, dashboard. Five we have the Power BI
Mhm.
dashboards are different. So we have because in the US they have all like sales teams as well in the
Mhm.
US. So I have also create one dashboard there. All the sales, uh, their details, how many sales have been done, how many revenue have been generated with that people, like
Mhm.
agents. We have productivity report we create as well, and we have sales. We are using the SharePoint as well in the project where we
Okay.
connect with them, and the salesforce they are doing mostly the sales team, they're using the salesforce. So that also we have connected with our Power BI. So sales we that basis of that sales and all, so we create report and dashboards.
Okay. Okay. Great. That's all I had. Do you have any questions for me?
No, thank
Okay. Great. So I guess good. I'll share your feedback with HR, and he'll get back to you. Okay.
you. Okay,
So yeah, nice talking to you.
thank you, same here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.